Anand? Hello? Anand, can you hear us? Hello, Anand. You will have to unmute and speak, Anand.
Yeah, he is muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he unmuted, Harsh.
Sorry, my audio wasn't working.
Okay, no problem. So, am I audible enough?
Yeah, you are.
Harsh, good to go? Shall we?
Yeah, good to, yeah, please, ma'am, you can start.
Okay, Anand, this is Professor Sindhu. Okay, and I've done my MBA in HR and finance. So, we shall start the first class today. Whenever
Yes.
you have any doubt, you can stop me in the middle and you can ask me, okay?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the screen that I have shared?
Yes,
You able
I
to?
can.
Okay. So, okay, today the first chapter for you in your class 12 is account for not-for-profit organization. So the name itself says that it is not for profit organization. So when it is saying it is not for profit organization, their intention is not to make profit. Okay, they have started this organization to give service. Okay, slide. Okay. Their main intention is to give service to its members. Service to whom? To its members or to society in general at large. Okay. Society at large. They have started it with their main intention either to give service to the members. Who are the members? They have started like 10 to 12 members get together with a common purpose. They would start an organization with a very strong intention not to make a profit. So you can ask me now, ma'am, why do they form those kind of organization?
Organization.
When their intention is not to make profit, why do they form an organization? Because we have always studied that an organization is formed with a prime intention of making profit,
Profit.
or to trade goods and services. So here, when I say that they have started an organization with the intention of service, they do not trade goods and services. They do not trade any goods and services with the intention of making profit. Their main intention is to only to, when I speak service, not this services, okay? So main intention is to give services. So which are those kind of organization? We have learned and heard about many sports clubs, right? They come together, they form a sports club. Either it is beneficial to the members or people who are or talents who want to become something in the sports field. It is started for them. And there are many charitable institutions, for example, orphanages, old ages, which is run. So those kind of institutions, schools, there are many religious organizations, welfare societies, hospitals which have been started. Harsh, somebody else is also asking entry. Somebody called Srinidhi. Okay. So these are the organization. They are managed by the trustees. When you say, ma'am, it is started by somebody to give service, who will manage it? It is always managed by trustees. Okay. There will be a trust formed. Board of members will be there. They will manage the account, and they'll also maintain the accounts for these kind of institution. Normally, when I said, I told you, they do not manufacture any goods and services. They do not sell any goods and services. They do not purchase any goods and services. Okay. So the major source of their income, when you say, ma'am, okay, fine, you told everything to me. They are not manufacturing products. They are not selling it. They're not purchasing this. Then how do they run their organization? They usually run their organization with a subscription amount. What is subscription amount? Subscription amount. So subscription amount is, there are 10 members, okay, or 100 members. They jointly come together and start this organization. There will be a fees for these kind of people. If they have to get into this club, they are supposed to pay 1,000 rupees. So with this kind of subscription amount, they do run their organization, manage their organization. Also, there is one more way that they get donations. Now, there are many people, there are many IT companies, there are many organizations which do support these kind of the organization. They do give donations. Now, many of the government schools are improving their infrastructure only by the donations given by the private institution. So they get donations, and they get grantings by the government or the local authorities. And whatever the subscription amount that they have collected, they do go and invest in some other business or some other places, maybe fixed deposit, recurring deposit, or they would invest in shares, or they would invest in some other business. So with these kind of, I will talk about this very detailedly, these kind of amount, they would run their business. No, now we are somebody or anybody, when we go and talk about this, you might ask me that, ma'am, these are for services. They do give services for the society by and large, and for the members. So what is the need of maintaining accounts? Should we have to go and maintain accounts? Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
About the investments, that's only done when the organization gets profit, right?
Not only with the profit, from the donations they get, or from the subscription that they get, they can go ahead, and if their expenses is very limited, they can go ahead and invest the remaining amount.
Okay.
Only with the profit, they are not making any profit.
No, okay.
That they do not make profit.
Yeah, yes, I got that. No, I thought anything after the maintenance cost would be considered as profit. So I thought that would be okay.
If they go ahead and could meet all their expenses in a year, if there is some amount remaining with them, okay, there's extra donations which comes, or they might feel that if at all, if they invest and if they get regular income, if you invest, you would definitely get interest, right? Or if you invest in shares, you would get dividend, right?
Yes.
With this amount also, they can take out their maintenance expenses for that particular year.
Okay.
Okay. So they definitely go ahead and invest in less riskier places. They do not take too much of risk, because their intention is not to make profit.
Okay.
Somebody else whose prime motive is to make profit, we would definitely go ahead and take the risk, right?
Yeah.
And invest. But here, this is not the condition.
Okay.
Right?
They only want money for maintenance.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. So they have to maintain a proper accounts. What kind of accounts are they supposed to make? For example, what maximum they get cash from somewhere, right? And they make some payment. right? So they have to maintain a receipt and payment account. Payment account. Every year end they are supposed to, so every day they have to maintain a receipt and payment account. For example, today is 31st August 2020 and I'm running an organization, institution, which is main aim is not for profit. Even though I'm not making profit anything, but I would definitely get some money to my organization. So date wise I'm supposed to maintain those receipts, and definitely I'm going to spend some amount for maintenance, for stationery, for food, for anything. If I'm maintaining an, I have opened an orphanage, so there are kids, so I require some something for the for those kids. So I would definitely go ahead and spend something. Those things I am supposed to record with the help of receipt. And this is the first one I am supposed to maintain with a receipt and payment account. With the help of receipt and payment account, I am supposed to maintain one more account, income and expenditure account. Okay, with the help of these two, I'm supposed to maintain balance sheet also, financial statement. This is your cash and payment account is more like cash account. Okay, your income and expenditure is almost like profit and loss account. We do not make profit and loss account because we do not make any profit, or it is not our main intention. Otherwise, any other organization, we would sole trading or whatever it is, joint stock company, joint venture company, whatever company it is, we would go ahead and maintain profit and loss account. But here we maintain income and expenditure. I just go ahead and at the end of the year, my job is to see what are my incomes, from where did I get my revenue from, how did I spend, and balance sheet. Obviously, I need to know the financial position. So I would go ahead and maintain all these three accounts. Okay. Shall we go
Yes.
ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here is one example of a proper non-profit organization, which is in India, which is in the name of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So I know you, you know who is APJ Abdul Kalam, right?
Yes, ma'am.
President of India, and in his name there is an non-profit organization existing, which was started by Srijan Pal Singh, an author, and he's a philanthropist, he's a social entrepreneur. So this not-profit organization is all about free libraries across remote, economically backward regions. See the intention of that particular non-profit organization. They are providing library facilities to remote and economically backward regions. Why only remote and backward economically background regions? Because in a urban place, we have mobile at our fingertips. Whatever we want, we are easily accessible. For those kind of remote and backward regions, they are not tech savvy, or they are not exposed to those kind of technologies. So this, because he was a scientist and he gave much importance to the education, so somebody who is a social entrepreneur started a library whose intention is to give library access to those economically backward regions. So these libraries caters to reading and learning need of the children in slum, government schools, low cost private schools, children in observation homes, that is remand homes. So they are almost helping 5 lakh children. So when we talk about these kind of organization, you might ask, ma'am, why people have to give donation? Why? Because they'll have to buy books, they have to maintain that, they have to update themselves to the new books, and they have to make them reachable to the regions where there are economically backward people who are not accessible to the books. So this is why there are n number of non-profit organization in India. So this is one of the example which I have given here. Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what
Sorry.
are the
Yes, ma'am.
See, from this chapter, there's 10 marks covered in your exams, okay? What are the characteristics of NGO? First thing, that they provide services to the public in large are to the members. So they are into education, healthcare, recreation, sports, and whatever you name it, they are into. So they run this services with a nominal cost and they do not make any profit. They are organized and managed by charitable trust and subscribers to organization called members. Their affairs are usually managed by managing or executive committee elected by members. There are 100 members. They among themselves vote for somebody, 5 to 6 members as executive members, board of members. They manage that thing. Their main source of income is, one is subscription from members, donation, grantings from government, or income from any investment. The surplus generated from this kind of donations and everything, they would have, it is not distributed among the members, they will mobilize it to capital fund. When we are talking about not-profit organization, there are two kind of fund. One is capital fund. Okay, one is capital fund. The second one is general fund. Okay. Capital fund is always a part of liability. Okay, because any of the accounts in accounts which you do, it is very important you go ahead and study your golden rules of accounts, right? What are the three accounts which comes in accounts? One is real account, right? Second one is personal account. Third one is nominal account. Okay. So we have something called as capital. That is the money that owners get into the business to manage, to run their business or to start their business. Capital, where do you show it? Where do you show the capital in balance sheet? Anand, where do you show capital in balance sheet?
Initially.
Capital which is brought by an entrepreneur or an owner, where do you show it? In balance sheet. It's always on liability side, right?
Oh yeah, okay, that's what you meant. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it is shown as
Liability side.
If any time, if you want me to revise your basics also, one class I can go ahead and revise your basics. Okay, if you
Yes,
need. So your capital fund, anything which you said, ma'am, profit, end of the day, if you make profit, we would go ahead and invest. In these kind of organizations, they would not distribute that amount among members also, or they would not go ahead and invest, very little part they would go ahead and invest. Otherwise, they would transfer it to capital fund.
Account.
And it will be shown in the
liability side.
Okay. So the non-profit organization earns a reputation based on their contribution to the society. Goodwill, how usually business makes their goodwill. This year they make good profit. They bring in some new products. So they make their goodwill. But here, the good name and fame of the organization, that particular organization is going to, they are going to achieve it only through their contribution to the society than satisfying the customer. We always know that customers are the king of the business. They are the king of the business. If you satisfy them, again, a goodwill, reputation will grow. But for the here, how much contribution that you make towards the society, that is the main thing that will increase your reputation. So accounting information provided by such organization is meant for potential contribution and meet the statutory requirement. Sometimes it is a statutory requirement that they have to maintain their accounts, and every year they'll have to publish it also. So accounting records of not-for-profit organization. We know the main source is subscription, donation, grant. So most of their transaction is either through cash or through banks. We do not have anything credit here, right? They have only cash transaction or bank transaction. How? Bank transaction. Okay, think that there is one XYZ not for profit organization. Okay, profit organization. Now, you are citizen of the society, responsible citizen of the society. You're working somewhere, you're doing well. You think at the end of the year, okay, I should contribute something to the society because society has given me so much. Let me give back something to the society. You approach this XYZ not profit organization. So you give rupees 50,000 to this organization as donation. Okay. Do I have to return this to you?
No.
No.
Well, yeah.
You will not come and ask me back this
Money.
amount.
No.
Right? You would give me a check or cash. Right? So there is only cash or bank transaction. There is no credit here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have to maintain a cash book in the form of receipt and payment account. Same rules for cash book account. Okay, cash book, I wrote 3 accounts. Where will cash book fit? Real account, nominal account, or personal account? Where does it fit?
Personal. I think I'm not.
What is cash? What is cash? Is it an asset?
Yes.
Right? So it fit
Yes.
into a real account. All assets,
Yes. All assets
all
are real
assets
account.
will fit in real.
Real account.
I told you if you want me to revise your
Basics.
one
Sorry.
class, we can go ahead and do that also, because to do any of these things you should be really good at this.
Basics. Okay.
Okay, so cash book will fit into your asset account. So real account. What is the real account rules? Real account rules.
Sorry. Huh?
Rules of real account for debiting and crediting.
One second, ma'am. I was making notes. I was writing the notes.
Okay. Real account rules for debit and credit is debit comes in,
Credit goes out.
credit what?
Goes out.
Right? So anything that we receive, we do not say it is a cash book in the form of receipt and payment account. Same rules for whichever we follow for cash account. So debit what comes in? Whatever which comes in for receipt account, we are going to debit it. Whatever which we make payment, we are going to credit it. This I will explain with the help of problem also. Okay? Okay.
Yes.
So they also maintain a ledger containing accounts of all income and expenditure and asset and liabilities. Any organization definitely would have asset and liability. For example, if it is a sports club, somebody has formed a sports club with the intention of helping its members who are interested in sports and also serving the society. Okay, they have sports equipment. Okay, so those are its assets. For somebody who is running a school, benches, building, infrastructure that they have, library books, those are all the assets. So assets differs from the type of company that they run, the type of organization that they hold. So I have already told you we maintain only 3 accounts, that is receipt and payment account, income and expenditure account. Your receipt and payment account is very similar to cash and bank account. Your income and expenditure account, it is a similar or it is a photocopy of your profit and loss account, and balance sheet which will depict my financial statement. Okay, we will learn one by one how to prepare receipt and payment account, how to prepare income and expenditure account, how to prepare balance sheet. Okay, by solving problems.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here I have given you the format of receipt and payment account. Okay, this is format of receipt and payment.
Ma'am,
Yes.
the previously you mentioned the personal, real, and nominal account, right?
Yes.
That's in the English system of classifications, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we had not done the English system. We had used the American system of classification. That's why I was confused when you mentioned that.
American Institute of Accountant, they would also go with the same thing.
But we don't use the real, personal, and
Okay, what else do you use?
assets, liabilities, capital, expense and loss, and income and gain accounts. These
Okay.
5 accounts.
Okay.
That's, yeah. I was not. I was, because I had learnt these 5. I was not very, well in the other accounts.
Okay, no problem. So
But if it's necessary, I'll learn these 3 also.
yeah, no. If you're able to answer an interview or somewhere where you are able to understand the transaction, that's fine. Okay, you
Okay.
just know the other versions also.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So this is your receipt and payment account. I have told you it is nothing but cash account, right? So you have your debit side, you have your credit side.
Yes.
Okay. This is particulars, amount, particular, and amount. Okay. So
Yes.
what is the first thing that we have to write? We have to bring down last year profit. If you have any excess in our cash book, that is receipt and payment account of last year's, we should bring that down to this year. So to balance, brought down cash, whatever the amount that we have, bank, whatever the remaining amount that we have in the last year, and the total of it. Okay. So in the receipt side, we have 2 types of receipt. One is revenue receipt, one is capital receipt. Okay. 1 second, I have an Excel that I will share that.
Yes, ma'am.
So I said you are able to see
Yes, ma'am.
Excel. Okay, very good. So we have 2 kind of receipts. One is revenue receipt and one is capital receipt. So what is revenue receipt? Revenue receipt is something which is recurring in nature. Recurring in the nature in the sense subscription amount. It is not one time amount. You cannot say that the year I started, only then people in the first 5 months they would subscribe, later we would not allow any other members. It is not like that. It is a year-on subscription. Subscribe this year, next year again you will have to renew your membership, giving one more subscription payment. So it is recurring in nature. Every year it keeps on coming, and when people come to know about this organization, when they feel like they have to be the member of this organization, they would go ahead and join this organization. So this is one which is recurring in nature. And donations also are recurring in nature. Why? Because as and when people come to know about your organization, your contribution society, they keep donating. So capital receipts are those receipts which are not recurring in nature. I will explain you which are those transactions which are not recurring in nature. We have 2 kind of membership. One is yearly membership, one is lifetime membership. If you have to take a membership of any clubs, they would say, do you need membership, lifetime membership or yearly membership? Yearly membership is like every year you will have to go ahead and renew it. Lifetime membership is little costly, but for his lifetime, he's making one payment, and he is getting his membership. Okay, so there are many things that which comes in capital receipt and revenue receipt. I will explain you, but in exam, when you get a problem, you need not do this bifurcation. All the receipts you are supposed to put it here, all the payments you are supposed to put it here. This is for your understanding, better understanding, because if tomorrow if you go for some non-profit organization to keep their book of account, you should know what is what and what is what not. That's why I give you the clear bifurcation. Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let us talk about revenue receipt. The first thing that comes in the revenue receipt is subscription, to subscription. Okay. In the subscription, for example, there are few members who slip or skip their payment this year by mistake. What they would 2019 or 2-3 members, they would have skipped their payment, membership payment. They might say that this year 2020 I will pay last year's also, this year also you renew my membership. So whenever we get money, we need to record past year's transaction also, this year transaction also, right? So in the subscription, if somebody has missed last year and this year if they are making payment, we need to record that. We need to record present year subscription also. If any member is saying that I might skip, or now I have money, I would pay you and take the subscription of next 2 years, the future years subscription also you are supposed to record this year itself, because you are getting money this year to your account, that you have to go ahead and record. Okay. In subscription, you are supposed to record past years, present years and future years. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And to general donation. Anybody who make donation, it is recurring, because see that is there in your Excel sheet also. You can copy from that if something is not clear here. So general donation is anybody who feel like contributing to the organization. Sometimes people of the not-profit organization, they themselves go to people and ask for the donation. Sometimes people come to know your contribution to the society or to the needy people, they themselves will contribute. So this is recurring in nature. And to entrance fees. What entrance fees is ma'am talking about? Why somebody pay entrance fees to any not-profit
organization?
For example, there is a not-profit organization, and there are many celebrities. For example, your singers, your actors, they would come and run a show, okay, on behalf of this charitable institution. They would collect entrance fees for coming and sitting in that particular show, okay, and they would give that money to not-profit organization. Okay, so that comes under entrance fees. So here even that is recurring, so it comes here. To grantings, to general grantings, it is also called as general grants. I tell you, these grants are provided only by the local authorities or by the government, central government, state government, or the local authorities. They would see your work, they would give you these grantings. Why do they give here? It is for the welfare purposes. Most of the time is spent for the salary of the staff or maintenance allowances. Because there is an orphanage which is run by somebody, they do not have proper fund. Their incomes are going, most of the income is going for the inmates. So they would get some grant from the government to give this to spend for staffs. Okay, one second.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I'm in class. I forgot. Sorry. Oh, I'm in class, sir. I'm in class. So these grantings usually come in the form from government. Okay. So the next one is Sale of newspaper. Any NGOs, if it, I will just erase it, if they are getting newspaper to their organization, okay, end of the year or 6 months once, 3 months once, what they would do, they would go ahead and sell it to sale of newspaper. Okay, sometimes they would say grass also. Okay, why grass? Where did grass come from? Many of the time students get confused and they would leave this transaction in exams. Now, why would the grass come from? For example, if in orphanage, there is an orphanage, they have some empty land, there's some grass which is grown there. End of the or when it is grown excess, there is excess grass, what they would do, they would cut it off and they would sell it to the people who are having cows or something like that. So they would get that money also. They would record that also. Sale of newspaper or grass. Sale of sports materials, old sport material. Sale of old sports material. Okay. If you are running a sports club, and you have some old materials, for example, your ball, your skipping ropes, your basketballs, your table tennis balls and bats, rackets, everything, that you will have to, you might sell it. No more people are using it and you would sell it. So that will also come under your revenue receipt. And sale of refreshment. What refreshment is ma'am talking about? Sometimes inmates of those not-profit organization, they prepare something, they would some juice or homemade organic food items, and they would sell it to the people who are in need. Or sometimes when people from outside, they come from concerts or drama play or everything, they would sell it to them and they would make some money. So again, that will be recorded here as two sales of refreshment. Okay, so again that is revenue receipt. Two lockers fees. Lockers fees. If you are running a sports club, if you are running a library, there will be separate lockers given to the members where they can keep their personal belongings. So they would charge for that locker. So that amount will also come here. Okay, to lockers fees. To income from concerts. I said people would come, they would make some concerts for you, and you can, whatever the income that you earn from that concert, or people give charity and they would give it to you, so you will record. And to also revenue from shows. From shows, there is some drama show, or there is some street play done by some students or somebody, they would contribute to you, it will come in revenue receipt. To interest on investment. Interest on investment. Investment that you have made, right? Somewhere you have kept a fixed deposit, you have invested in shares, you have invested in debentures or whatever it is. Every year you would get interest or dividend. So it is recurring in nature. So it is a revenue receipt. To rent. For example, you have a big building, you have some unused building with you, so you would rent it for somebody else. So you would get rent every month or every year. So it is a revenue receipt, it comes here. So rent or dividend also comes here. Dividend. So if you purchase some shares or you invested in shares, every end of the year when that organization or business make profit, they would give you dividend, and that you are supposed to. So there are many things. There's some miscellaneous income that you are supposed to record here. Okay? Okay? Copied it down?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I go ahead and erase?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let us talk about capital receipt. I told you capital receipts are those receipts which are not recurring in nature. They do not happen again and again to me. So there are few capital receipts which I am supposed to enter in the liability side, and few that I am supposed to enter in asset side. I'll explain you which I am supposed to enter in liability side and why, and which I am supposed to enter in asset side of the balance sheet and why. Okay, most of the textbook does not give you this bifurcation, because they say that any receipt you put it here, any payment you put it here. But if at all, if somebody asks you why this here, you should know an answer for that. So I will explain you this thing. So now we'll explain, enter those capital asset which will be entered in asset side of the balance sheet. Sorry, liability side of the balance sheet. Which are those receipts which I am supposed to enter it in the capital liability side? Any amount that you receive, if you transfer it to the capital fund account, that you are supposed to enter in liability side. What are those? 2 life membership fees. Okay, 2 life membership fees. Once for that particular person, 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, whatever the life membership fees is, we are going to receive it. It is a huge amount. It is not recurring in nature. So what do? We transfer it to the capital fund and we record it in the liability side. And there are sometimes donation which is not general, which is specific donation. What is this specific donation? For example, you are giving me 50,000 donation, and I am running a orphanage organization. Okay, you will tell me that, ma'am, you are running a orphanage. I agree, but this particular amount has to be utilized for girls' education who is under 14 years old. You should give good education to 1 or 2 girls who is under age of 1 to 14 years. So it is given for a specific purpose. Or you say that if you are running a sports club, you say that if you are running a sports club, you from somebody outsider, you come and give me money. So take 1 lakh, you arrange for a tournament, tennis tournament, and you spend that amount there. Okay, as we are supposed to spend it only for that particular this one specific purpose, this is a liability. So I would put it in liability side until and unless I conduct that particular event. Even though it is a receipt, it becomes a liability. Same as your capital. Even though it is a capital is an amount that is brought into the business by an owner, we enter it into the capital side, because one day or the other we'll have to return that amount to the owner. The day it liquidates, we are supposed to return it. Here same way, any day we are supposed to spend it in this particular purpose. So it is a liability. To specific subscription. Specific subscription. Same way, member might come or somebody might come and they might say that I will subscribe to this organization until and unless this particular purpose is served. Later that I am not a member. So again, we'll transfer it to the capital fund. So it is a capital receipt which will be entered in the liability side. This will help you when you are doing balance sheet. Okay. So to specific grants. So government may give some grants for the specific purpose. They might tell that this money should be used only for this particular purpose. To receipts of, again we'll transfer that amount to the capital fund. Receipts from fund-based activity. So if at all I've arranged for a tournament, if any amount comes, any receipt comes in that particular way, we would receive that and then we would transfer it to the capital fund. So, two legacies. What is legacy? Do you have any idea? What is legacies? Do you have any idea?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you
For,
mean accounts? Okay.
okay. For example, I am a businessman and I am a philanthropist. What, for example, somebody called as somebody like Sudha Murthy, right?
Yes.
She has a huge profit. She might say that in her will, on property will, when she's making, she might say that this particular 10 acres of land should belong to this particular NGO. Okay, that is legacy. Legacy is they would give
Something left over.
amount of money or property left to someone in will.
Yeah.
So this is legacy.
Okay.
And again, this is capital receipt, because which is not going to happen again and again. Again, this would be transferred to capital fund, or it is kept aside. We are not going to sell it. We are not going to make any changes to it. So it is a capital receipt and it will be in liability side. To endowment fund. What is endowment fund? Endowment fund. For example, I being a member, I might say that I have kept 1 lakh fixed deposit in bank in the name of this particular organization, and end of the year, whatever the interest you get, you should use it for girls welfare, or for the marriage of few people, or for that particular tournament, or anything it is, for purchasing of these particular on Abdul Kalam or anything. If you have mentioned what you will have to do with that in particular interest, then it becomes endowment fund, and again I will transfer it to the capital fund. So it is capital receipt which I will be recording to liability. We also say to loan, but matter of fact is none of the bank would go ahead and give loan to not for profit organization, because they know they do not have the source to repay it, or for source to pay the interest. All right, because their main intention is not for profit organization, until and unless the government take responsibility and it tells them that it's okay, go ahead and grant this particular kind of loan, only then they would get loan, but it is very rare. Okay, so now let us see what are those capital receipts which we are going to enter a receipt asset side. Okay, asset side of the balance sheet. Capital receipts that we are going to enter in asset side. Sale of fixed assets. Either your liability have to increase, or you will have to reduce your asset by selling it off. When you reduce your asset by selling it off, the particular amount you will have to enter in asset side by reducing that particular amount of amount worth asset in the asset side. So we will go ahead and enter. For me, money is coming. It is a receipt. I am selling 10,000 worth rupees furniture and I am getting income. Here entry is fine. The other side of the entry, because we are following double entry system, you will have to enter it in the asset side of the balance sheet. We will have to reduce it. To sale of investment, you have invested something somewhere, it is an asset to me. I am selling it off. Okay, 1 crore worth rupees investment, I am selling it off. So this will reduce. Cash is coming for me, I will record it here. The other side of the entry, you will have to do it in the asset side. So this is what which comes in your receipt side. Okay. Shall we go to payment side?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In the payment side, we will have to begin with. So what comes in receipt side is revenue receipts. Sorry, cash balance. First of all, cash and bank balance, and your revenue receipts, and capital receipts, which comes in liability side, capital receipt comes on asset side. There is one more thing here, I will explain you later. So now here, payment side. First thing, we have to carry down the balance if you have any overdraft in bank. When will this come? If your payment side is more and your receipt side is less. For example, take an example of you have made payment in a year 10 lakh and you have only 8 lakh receipt. But you have already made a payment of rupees 10 lakh. Where will the other 2 lakh come from? Bank OD. What is overdraft? What is overdraft? What is overdraft?
Overdraft.
It is a facility given to the bank customer where he can withdraw the amount
Excess money
more than
for
what is
business.
there in his account.
Yeah, for business purposes.
Yeah, he had 8 lakh and he spent it. Still 2 lakh he has spent extra. That means it is a bank overdraft.
Overdraft.
It comes this side. Next year I will carry it down here. Okay? Understood? Any doubt here?
No, ma'am. I got it.
Problem, you will understand it better. So it is payment side. So I'm recording all the expenditure. Again we have revenue expenditure, capital expenditure. Revenue expenditure are those expenditure which are recurring in nature. Okay. Capital expenditure are expenditure which is normally does not happen again and again. Here comes salaries. Okay. By your advertisement expenses, salary for the staff, you have to give it again and again. Advertisement expense, yes, you will have to. If you are running a sports club, you will have to give advertisement. If you are running a library, you will have to give advertisement. Everywhere advertisement is required. And if you are getting newspaper, you might spend on newspaper and magazines. See, if at all, if you are running a library, if you are getting newspaper and magazines, it is revenue receipt. If you are getting books for your library, then it is a capital expenditure. Because the value of the book does not get over in a day or in a month or in a year. That will be carried out for future years also, right? So books are the asset for fixed asset for a library. So that becomes books become capital expenditure. Your newspaper and magazine become revenue expenditure. So if you are spending anything on repairs, that is a revenue expenditure. If you are spending it on audit, it is a revenue expenditure. If you are spending on maintenance expenses, it is a revenue expenditure, right? If you are spending on honorarium, what is honorarium? Secretary honorarium or
Ma'am, could you excuse me for a second? There's
yes.
someone at the door and I'm alone at house at home.
Yeah.
Sorry, ma'am, I'm back.
Oh, okay. So we have different kind of honorarium. One is secretary honorarium, another one is lecturers honorarium, or some sports person honorarium. What is honorarium? For example, there is a school which is running and somebody else will come and give a guest lecture for one day, and that organization would give a small amount as honorarium, okay, for coming and giving that particular, spending that particular of hours here. So that is honorarium. So any honorarium which is given in a sports club or in any NGO, that comes under revenue expenditure. So there are many like municipal tax that we pay every year, gardening that we do, and maintenance cost, that office expenses, prize distribution expenses, expenses on shows, and consumable expenses. For a sports club, sports material which is purchased become consumable and it comes under revenue expenditure. Sports equipments which is purchased, which will become um, capital expenditure. Okay, and any miscellaneous payment which are made. Now let us talk about capital expenditure. Capital expenditure which comes under capital expenditure comes under asset side. By purchase of fixed asset. When we purchase the fixed asset, it will be of huge amount and the benefit of it will remain for many years. So this will come under asset side. By purchase of, or by purchase of investment. If you purchase any investment, shares, something like that, investment that you make, that will also come under asset side and it is a capital expenditure. I said for any library, books become capital expenditure. So it comes under capital expenditure and it will be recorded in asset side. I also said that sports materials that we purchase will become revenue receipt. Sports equipments that we purchase here will become capital expenditure. For your sports, if you purchase any equipments, okay, this become capital expenditure in asset side. If you become purchase materials, it becomes revenue expenditure in revenue expenditure on the payment side. So vehicles which you purchase, building construction that you make, these are all the investment on assets. So that will come under capital expenditure asset side. I will forward you this materials also, so you can have it and you can copy it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So capital expenditure which comes on liability side. Liability side. Which are those capital expenditure which comes on liability side? If you repay the loan, repayment of loan. Loan is there, and if you repay it once, it is a payment, and your liability is reducing, so it comes under the liability. Okay, and any expense out of specific purpose. Remember, they will give donation for specific purpose, grant for specific purpose. When you make that expenses on specific purpose. Specific purpose. When you make it, that particular liability which we have recorded on the liability side will come down. So we will have to record it on the liability side. So these are the entries which comes in receipt and payment account. Now the last thing is that we will have to balance it. You balance it. Usually our debit side, ideal situation is we should have more money in debit side, less payment. We should have more receipt and less payment. If you have more receipt, balance will come on the credit side and it will become your cash or bank balance. Okay. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
You go to bank or it will cash or bank balance at the end. If at all, if you have your payment side more, asset side less, it will become your bank overdraft. to bank overdraft. Okay. If your credit side payment is more, if your credit is more than your receipt, it will become bank overdraft. If your debit, that is receipt, is more than the payment, that the balance amount will become cash or
Cash order
bank balance.
balance.
Harsh, I have one more problem also.
Bank
So,
balance, okay.
it's 5 o'clock. If you're good, we can go ahead or in the next class. Harsh, is Harsh here? Anand?
He's muted himself. I'm not sure. It says he's a participant, but he's muted himself, and I don't know.
Okay. It was 1 hour class. Should we go ahead with problem, Anand?
No
problem.
I don't mind per se, but this is a demo class, so
Yes.
I'm not sure if
Yes.
if you're comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it. I don't mind.
So, or otherwise, you do one thing. You just copy this question. I will send it by taking your mail ID or number with Harsh. I will send
Yes.
problem.
Okay.
As if you're fine, we can go ahead and take it.
Yes, ma'am. I'll copy the question.
Okay. So you understood whatever I explained?
Yes, ma'am.
The concept clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Every problem I would be solving on the whiteboard. So there is no much difference between your normal class and online classes. Okay. And
Yes.
I will make sure I will cover whatever you require for your exams.
Yes, ma'am.
All the topics we would just rush and cover, make more classes in a week, and I would make sure I would finish it all your syllabus by the end of your exams. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay then. I think, I don't know where's Harsh. Okay, can you call him up, or
Yes, I can.
can we wind up?
Yeah, once again, I'll just call him.
So in school, means your college, how much topic they have covered?
They're in the third chapter right now.
Okay, fine. Which month did they start your class?
1 second, ma'am. I'll tell you. I'm calling Harsh right now. He's not picking up the phone.
Okay. Okay, we'll wind up today's class.
Okay.
Hope we meet again.
Yes, we will. Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So, what month did they start your classes? Are they doing it on whiteboard, or simply they're doing it on PPTs?
My class teacher usually uses PPTs, and she explains how she's done the sum. So it's a bit difficult. Before she used to do it on the board and explain it clearly. So it used to be easier in 11th grade.
Correct. Okay, I would be doing it on the whiteboard. Okay, on every day.
Yes.
Because I do take MBA classes, and I do it because finance, it is through PPTs, it becomes little difficult.
Even when she explains it, I don't
Correct.
understand it very well.
Okay, whenever you have doubt, you can stop me and ask.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll talk to Harsh.